Yo, what's poppin', guys? I've got a crazy good video for everybody today. We are closing in on the end of the first Marvel Rival season, and I managed to get 2 accounts into Eternity rank. So I'd love to break down how I got there and share some of my highest impact tips and teach you some fundamentals that will help you improve and practice correctly. Fundamentals. So the first thing you need to understand about Marvel Rivals in order to rank up and improve is that it is a hero shooter, which means movement, aim, team play, ability usage, timing, and information tracking are the core elements that, if you improve them, will 100% guarantee improvement. That being said, if any of these fundamentals are missing, you're eventually going to hit a wall with your improvement and experience an absolute mental breakdown and begin going into a gamer rage. My teammates are terrible, crash out. And you don't want to do that. That'll just stunt your growth and your improvement overall. Okay, so the first thing you guys need to improve is your movement and your aim. Also your combos, but I'll talk about that in a second. The easiest way to improve your aim and movement skills is to go to the practice range, walk down to this hidden area here, and boom, you've got a full mechanics training area ready for use. Most people just do static or shoot the targets while they're standing still, which is completely fine, but you can actually work on your fundamental movement and strafing aim at the same time. Put the bot's movement mode on dynamic, set it to super fast, and perform 5 minutes of strafing, 5 minutes of anti-strafing, and 5 minutes of chaotic strafing with constant jumping to simulate the unpredictable fights you'll be taking in game. For everyone who's unfamiliar with the terms, mirroring is matching your target's movement to make your aim easier, and anti-mirroring is moving away from your opponents to make it harder for them to land shots. There are moments when these techniques overlap, and that is what makes it very important to practice both. So if you're playing a melee character or a character with a lot of abilities like Black Panther or Magic, the best way to practice is to get your combos down to the point where they're subconscious and you're able to use every variation of them as quickly as possible. It's a bit harder to translate these types of characters in practice to in-game skill because timing and game IQ are super important to get value from them. The next big topic of skills you need to develop is understanding your role in the team. The playstyle that will get you value from your character and playing around your team's decisions. If you are playing a support, your role shifts a bit depending on what character you play. If you play Jeff, please don't play Jeff, guys. Come on. You're more of a heal bot that farms ult and then carries off of his ult plays. And if you play Luna Snow, you're more of a strong main healer that can carry by consuming a ton of the enemy team's resources and stunning people with your freeze. If you play Mantis, you're somewhat of an off healer that can carry off of absurdly high damage while having pretty good sustain and healing and a great ult. You notice how each of these characters has a different playstyle that achieves victory in their own way? That's what's called a win condition. This is super important to understand because once you start learning not only the characters themselves, but the playstyle that gets them the win, you'll be able to use them to their full potential. Playing every character the same way is a complete bronzy move, and you're going to be punished by it as soon as players start evolving brains capable of advanced team play. If you want more on this, I would love to make a full playstyle breakdown for each character in the game, so let me know in the comments, guys. The last big thing you need to start thinking about is Venom's cheeks. Just kidding. It's your team's terrible decisions. You can't control them, and you need to learn to find the advantages in how your team plays. Yes, your team can be making horrendous plays, but that will also make the enemy team overconfident, and oftentimes position in very predictable ways. Finding patterns when you're losing is just as important as taking every advantage when you're winning. Don't let yourself become lazy and assume just because your opponents are winning, they're going to be playing perfectly. You're playing against human beings, not bots designed to make every perfect play. Assume they're going to make a mistake you can play off of until you have won or lost the game. Alright, information tracking. Luckily, I was a World of Warcraft arena grinder when I was younger, so ability-based combat comes more naturally to me, but to a lot of you guys, adjusting to an environment where you have to track cooldowns and resources can be really difficult, especially starting off in a hero shooter. The best advice I can give you is to start thinking about how people will use their abilities and when you want to use yours. Try to stay out of the mindset of just spamming abilities mindlessly. It'll reinforce the habit that you just use your abilities while fighting and hope they work well. I want you to be intentional with how you think about your ability usage. As you start becoming more aware of how you use them, you will also become more aware of the cooldowns and timers available to you. Take the same thought process of tracking your abilities and use it against your opponents. The last thing that will improve your gameplay insanely fast is understanding the ult economy. Generating your ult and understanding what ults your team has available to you, as well as what the enemy team's ult economy looks like, is really important. Knowing you have ult advantage can send your team into a fight confidently instead of stalling and letting the enemy team regain their ults. Understanding the information available to you in a chaotic game like Rivals is an art, and it's going to take time to develop. I wouldn't expect to become good in a short period of time. My goal with teaching you guys this information is hopefully to give you the knowledge and fundamental skills to recognize when you could have played better and carried your game instead of just crashing out on the bronzies on your team. If you like my content, I would love it if you guys checked out my stream. I'll be doing a 16-hour live commentary ranked speedrun on a couple different heroes and roles in the future. So I'll probably comment the schedule somewhere if you guys want to learn in real time. Okay, fellas, that's all for today. Love you guys and join the Discord.